Hi, Tom.
How are you, Melanie? How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem. Not a problem. My pleasure.
So, I've been doing these recorded sessions of people who I know within my network because I've been so lucky and fortunate to meet and connect with such smart, hardworking, amazing people such as yourself. And I felt like this was a good way to introduce some of the people in my network to my network while also offering some sort of, business perspective and advice.
Awesome. No, I'm happy to be here. I appreciate you asking me to partake in this.
So you and I met a couple years ago. We met through a common connection of ours, Barry.
Very the best.
And we've stayed in touch over the years. And I really respect you a lot. I find you to be so smart and hardworking, and you're just one of those people that has so much energy that I also learn from a lot whenever I speak to. So you are former New York Jet. You are the CEO and managing partner of Today's Athlete. You're also the CEO and managing partner of Today's Business. You're on the board of trustees at Monmouth University, and you're also a dad. So how do you have time for everything?
I don't. I try to. It's been a crazy ride. But first and foremost, like yes, I've definitely had the opportunity to meet you a couple years ago through a mutual connection through Barry. We've had the opportunity to kind of explore some working relationships in multitude of different ways, and I do support you, and I do also at the same time appreciate you being so outgoing. The fact that you have the opportunity, like you want to be able to produce this type of content.
Yeah,
Because it's definitely not easy coming from a person that would try to do it. So I envy you on doing it, and
well, you're doing it right now, so there you go.
it's all right. It's all right, but I do appreciate you, having me on. I think it means a lot to me. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. So tell me your story a little bit. I mean, I just mentioned some highlights of your career, but
Yeah.
I'm really interested to hear the full story of how you went from being a New York Jet to being this managing partner and CEO of two very successful businesses.
Well, I would say this: my NFL career stands for not for long. Like it lasted about 5 minutes. I say I squeezed. I made all the people say you have lemons, you squeeze lemons to make lemonade. I fucking did that all. Excuse my language. But to my personal experience, about 9 years ago, I had a passion for marketing, and I knew I wanted to stay in the world of marketing. My family's had a restaurant for over 40 years in Livingston, New Jersey, Calabres, if anybody doesn't know that. And
I didn't know that your family owned Calabres.
my family owns Calabria.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
We used them for catering before.
I used them for a lot of catering before, and
Yeah,
I
I did not know that.
So my family owns Calabres, and I thought I was going to be able to go into the family business, and after, I had a dream of playing the NFL. Like that was the whole thing. Like I had a great college career. I made something out of nothing, and I had the opportunity to pursue my career at the highest level. It didn't last very long, but the connections I made, the friendships I made, the people I met have stayed forever. And still to this day, I do a lot of business with those people. But I had a passion for really trying to put I would say anything I put into the NFL, I wanted to put into business. And I thought that if I was going to be successful, that if I put a quarter of what I put into trying to make it to play at the professional level, and I put that quarter of effort into business, I was going to be successful. And 9 years later, 30 employees and two-time Inc. 5,000 award-winning company, that kind of proof of concept made happen. And it's not easy. You mentioned before, I wear a lot of hats. It's definitely not easy. Time is very valuable. I especially appreciate being now a father, which is like one of the most important things, if not the most important thing in my life. And I enjoy every second with my crazy 2-year-old daughter, who being on quarantine has been
Just
very,
wait
very
until
fun.
she turns 5 and 6. 2 is a lot
My
easier.
my daughter is on like 13. Like there's no way. She is her father's child to the fullest. One, she looks exactly like me, and two, she doesn't stop. She does not stop. So and that's similar to me. I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't go to bed until 11 o'clock at night. I mean, it doesn't stop for me at all. But yeah, juggling to become an entrepreneur at such a young age. You know, I started my company at 24. I'm now going to be 32. I think, yeah, I'm going to be 32. I'm going to be 32. And
You're so old.
I feel old. Trust me, the gray hair is coming. That's why I have the hat on. The gray hair is coming out. But being an entrepreneur, you know, I'm going to be 32 in 2 weeks. Knowing like, I kind of had the opportunity to see my dad go through it, you know, as like from a young age of always working. Now having the opportunity to be able to juggle the work lifestyle, it's been crazy. So I love what the NFL and everything has done for me in the sports world, but I truly am really passionate about what I do now on the brand side. It's been amazing.
So what keeps you motivated? I mean, I know you wake up super early, and I'm assuming you're waking up early to work out, right? To keep
Yep,
your
yep,
mind
yep.
also nice and fresh. And I love working out in the morning because I feel like when I work out in the morning, my entire day feels like so much more focused when I can
Yep.
take that, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, however much time, even if it's just 10 minutes to
Yeah,
just work
seriously.
out before my day starts. What keeps you motivated? I mean, you're working at such a fast pace. You have so many different balls in the air. How do you stay focused?
Honestly, I would say the biggest thing that keeps me focused is, you know, I every day I kind of wake up and have an agenda to kind of accomplish something. So it's like, you know, everybody tells you like you want to accomplish like four or five little wins on a daily basis. I truly believe that, and I try to accomplish that on a daily basis. I'm very like, even though a lot of things I do are a lot like long term driven, like my everyday lifestyle is kind of like, gotta kind of handle what comes at you in a way. I stay very motivated, especially during these times. More so, out you take away my family and that component of things, is my employees and the people that are like really like, you know, looking up towards me to guide them in a lot of ways. And you know, as of recent, the world turned upside down, and I've probably been more motivated now than ever to like deliver for my team and be there for my team and be there as like, you know, like I am the face of the quote unquote franchise. You want to take the sports,
Right.
but like being that like, you know, kind of like face of that team, knowing that they have a leader in them that can like, you know, they don't know if people don't understand with me, like they don't know if I'm going through the worst day of the world or I'm having the best day ever. Like I'm still I try to be on the same level playing field, but you know, but if what makes me wake up in the morning is definitely my family, and definitely my team. You know, they mean more to me than anything in this world. They've been there. Like we've had the opportunity to build an unbelievable team here. We've had to make a lot of hard decisions. We have had to make a lot of things that, like, you know, through this whole coronavirus stuff, really make us like kind of throw, you know, shit at the wall and see what sticks. But at the same time, I know who's going to be there for me tomorrow, and I'm going to keep on going for them.
That's awesome. Now, is your team all working remotely? Are you guys in the office? Are you in the office?
I am not in the office, so I'm not in the office. My team's not in the office. My one business partner is in the office because he lives literally right next door. He goes in. We'll have the office open between 12 and 5. If people want to come by and pick up equipment if they need to. We were very fortunate enough that in January we rolled out a work from home policy that every Wednesday the entire company works from home.
That's amazing.
So yeah, no, it prepared us like drastically for. We had like January and February to kind of test out the waters, and then March hit. We were like, okay, this is happening. We were ready for it. It's more intriguing to see like how the team has responded to that. I think the team has responded tremendously well towards having the ability to work from home.
Right.
For me personally, is more getting everybody on the same page. Working at certain times. Like if it was up to me, I'd work from 4 a.m. to 2 p.m. like where like other people can operate better at 11 a.m. to 2 o'clock in the morning, where that's not like my lifestyle. So trying to get everybody working.
Especially when you're waking up at 4 a.m.
Yeah, when you're waking up at 4 a.m., like you really can't stay up till 2 a.m.
Right. I mean, I guess you could. You just would be really tired.
Yeah, you'd be really tired.
You wouldn't be
You'd
able to
really,
perform at the same level. That's for
no,
sure.
not at all.
So that's amazing. I had no idea that you started the company at such a young age. So I think that gives a
Yeah.
lot of people hope that could be watching this right now. If you're someone who's really young or someone who recently lost their job and they're trying to figure out, do I start this business? How do I start it? What advice would you give someone who's either starting out or young, or someone who's making a career change in, starting a business? Maybe, they don't necessarily have somebody backing them and it's just on them. Like, what would be your best advice to give to them?
Well, coming from a person that started a company with $400,
That's
never,
amazing.
we never taken on to this day, knock on wood, a capital investor. So we've grown this company like
That's
homegrown.
really impressive.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. Don't get me wrong. Like we've been working with a lot of great banking relationships and things of that nature to help us get along the way. But we've been very fortunate enough to continue to grow this business with hard work, grunt, and like I would tell you, like I don't take no for an answer. So I'm going to continue to go as if I want something, I'm going to go after and get it. And I would say this for any person looking to start a business in in this economic time frame. Evaluate it all, like lay out all the options. Like that's the one thing that I think people don't understand. Like the thought process of like just going and things are going to be okay, you know, is a way to get motivated and way to get things off the ground. But you literally, before you start a business, especially if you're coming from a career, like I had nothing to lose when I started my business. So like I had no fear, I had nothing to lose. If I was going to start a business now, having, a mortgage, having a family, and really trying to evaluate what I'm doing in my life, my thought process would be completely different than it was 9 years ago.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate enough to look at like, all of my options at a young age because, I came from an opportunity where like I did earn a full scholarship coming out of college, or not coming out of college, earning it in college. And I didn't have college debt, like people are now in age, like they have college debt, like that that sets you behind. That's not going to allow you to borrow money from the bank. So I came out of a different situation. Like, yeah, I started with $400, but it was like a very different situation that somebody's going to leave a career and start another business. I would just lay out all the options, know your pros and cons, know what type of income you can generate and what your expenses are going to be.
That's
Because
amazing.
at the end of the day, it's simple math. Like businesses all run on simple math. When like it's either you make money or you don't make money. And I think the businesses now and the future of the economy, especially what's happened now, is that like the businesses that have been, true to themselves and not like kind of, I'm not going to run on a quote unquote burn rate, like are going to the ones that are going to be able to survive. And I think anybody wants to start a business, just draw it out, draw a plan first, and then execute, then go. And once you have the plan, you can go all you want. Whatever happens, the ups and downs, like that's going to happen, but at least you know that you have something that's solidified.
That's awesome. That's really great advice. I really appreciate it. I think anyone who's watching it right now would probably say, you know, they would, if they wanted to get a hold of you, what would be the best method to get in touch with you? Would it be over social? Would it be email? Would it be texting you? How could someone get a hold of you if they were looking for further advice on any of the stuff that we've talked about?
Either LinkedIn or Instagram are probably my biggest communicator to like outside of like my people who know me. I try not to give my number out as much as possible because it just gets overwhelming. I'm not at that stage where I want to be an influencer, quote unquote, that like I will hand out my cell phone number
But
and
you
like
do work with influencers though.
I do work with a lot of athletes and influencers.
You guys
Yes.
work with a
Yeah.
lot of influencers.
Yeah, we work with a ton of them. But the best way to is follow me at Instagram at Tom Ottaiano, or on LinkedIn at Tom Ottaiano. I think that's the best way to kind of follow me and get best way to kind of stay in touch. I will be producing a lot more content, since I've had the time to be home. So you'll see a lot more blogging coming out from me, a lot more
Awesome. I
videos
can't
coming
wait.
out from me. Yeah, no, I'm excited. We got some really cool stuff coming out.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's the one thing about this whole time being home. I found it very productive to be. I've been home for the last almost, it's been about 9 weeks that I've been home. And I've been so productive. I've been so efficient. It's hard to almost imagine anything beyond this or before this because all the things that I've been able to create and work on and plan out, it's been awesome. So it sounds like
Yeah,
you're
no,
on the same page with me on that.
yeah, and I enjoy a ton of your content. So
Thank
I
you.
applaud you. Keep going. Like, you don't stop. I told
Thank
you this
you.
back in the, told you the backlog. Keep on going. Don't stop. And the sky's the limit.
Thank you. I really appreciate this, Tom.
No problem. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.